And Autumn is in the studio. We are covering the weather that could bring ice jam flooding back to western New York. So as we start thinking about what is going to happen throughout the day today, let's go ahead and show you what is happening behind us. That is the ice jam that we're concerned about as we move through the morning and on into the afternoon. Temperatures will be warming, and that may be enough to move this ice jam downstream. And as we watch, because of all this ice in place, there is a flood watch and a flood warning. Let's first deal with the flood watch as we look at it on the screen. You're going to notice that in portions of southern Erie County all the way down into our southern tier, we have the opportunity for snow melt to raise creeks and streams. But as we zero in, the creeks in particular that we are watching is Buffalo Creek and Cazenovia Creek. As we zero in and show you the areas and communities, we can even go a little further and take it right down to street level and say that there are going to be areas near the edge of this ice flow that could see significant flooding, not this morning, but more likely as we get into the afternoon and our evening hours of our Monday and possibly even into Tuesday. Now, all this ice sliding downstream, that is unnerving for some communities, and one in particular is Lexington Green. You've been checking it out. Are they prepared for this?
Yes, they are prepared. Last year certainly helped because they had such bad flooding last year, but just because they're prepared doesn't mean that they're worried. Once this ice jam does break off and moves down the creek, like Andy just mentioned, that's when things will start to get really worrisome for those people in the Lexington Green neighborhood. You look around the neighborhood and you can see every house from eye to eye, from corner to corner, sandbags stacked up covering every little crevice and every little crack that there is possible so that water doesn't get in to those homes. And then there's big yellow boxes that are standing outside, those filled with those sandbags so people can get to those boxes. Another thing that a lot of people in the neighborhood didn't have last year, but they have now, flood insurance, because last year was so bad. But as mentioned earlier, just because they're ready doesn't mean that they're comfortable with all the flooding.
I had to plug all the holes that it came in last year, and I know where most of the water came in, and between contractors and myself, plugged most of the holes in the basement, but you never know. New holes might spring. If the flood is worse, I mean, it gets high enough, nothing's going to stop it.
I are back out here right at the base of Buffalo Creek. Things, as it starts to warm up, that's when we could really start to see the issue. That's when the people in Lexington Green could start to get worried, right, Andy?
That's right. I mean, what we're finding right now is the ice jam behind us is happening between here and their community. So right now, they haven't experienced the worst of the potential. As this lets go and starts to go that direction, it could jam up again right in their neighborhood.
It's not far. It's not far. It's only a 2-minute drive. From where we're standing, it's only about a half a mile. So if it starts to break up, it could happen relatively fast. So that's what we're looking at.
Exactly. Fortunately, it won't happen this morning, but as it heats up today, Matt, that's what we're going to keep our eye on. Autumn Lewandowski is watching the temperatures, and once we start to see the mid to upper 40s, Autumn, that's when those folks in Lexington Green got to start watching that creek.